All right, fam. The Vegas Eagles back, Champions Edition for the 2025 schedule. Sorry for the long hiatus, but I'm back now. We're going to go through the schedule for 2025 after we buried the Chiefs and won the Super Bowl, brought it back to where it belonged, avenged that nonsensical loss to KC in Super Bowl 57. So we're back. Vegas Eagles back. 2025 schedule. We're 10 days away from the opener because we play Thursday night because we're the champions. So we kick off the season at home because we're the champions. So we're going to go through the schedule, and I'm hopeful that I feel very good about it overall. There are some little bit of roadblocks here and there, but I feel very good about it. I think the division is a lock. I think the question then becomes again seeding in the NFC. Can you get the one seed to get the bye? Because of course there's only one bye now, so it does become important. And we did get fortunate with Washington beating Detroit in Detroit, which caused the NFC Championship game to be in Philadelphia instead of having to go to Detroit. So that was a nice little perk in the playoffs that Washington helped us out. All right, so without further ado, let's get this shit popping. All right. Now you might be thinking to yourself, hey, white chocolate, what are those red stars next to some of these games? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's the games that I'm going to be personally attending. So I'm going to be at the opener next Thursday night. Sirianni texted me. He said he needed me there to raise the banner. And of course, I got to oblige. So this is going to be a route. I'm thinking like, let's just say 30 to 10 Birds. All right. So that's a W. All right, so then we have the Super Bowl rematch. Now, a lot of people are going to be saying, well, KC's going to get it revenge. They're home. Don't forget, 2 years ago, we beat them in KC on Monday night. And, of course, we throttled them in the Super Bowl last year. It's not going to be easy, but one thing to keep in mind about the second game is that KC opens up their season the day after we play Dallas on the Friday night in Brazil. So they're going to be coming off a short week compared to us, flying all the way back from Sao Paulo. So we're going to have a little bit of a rest advantage there for this game. I know people are probably going to pick KC, not me. We go to KC and I see us winning the game, let's say 27-20, something like that. I know it's not a gimme, but I have faith in the Birds. I just think the Eagles are better than KC, and I think KC is going to have that Super Bowl loss hangover this year where they make the playoffs, but I don't see them going even to the AFC Championship game. I don't think they make it. But I think they're in the playoffs. They're good, but they're not good enough to get back to the AFC Championship. So we're going to give that a W. Okay. Now, week 3, Rams at Eagles. This was the toughest test of our playoff run. Rams came in the snow, and they gave us a great fight. And that game got a little hairy at the end. The Eagles still controlled it overall, but they let the Rams kind of make it interesting in the last couple minutes. But I think Stafford sneakily is banged up. I've been following this guy, my boy, Dr. David Chow, on Twitter, and he's been saying that he's concerned about Stafford's back. And he's not getting any younger. I think he's 37 now, I think. And you get that, you're not going to get healthier with the back as you get older. So them coming into Philadelphia, again, we're home. Not that it would have mattered if it was in LA because that would have been all Eagles fans anyway. But this is a 1 o'clock start back in Philadelphia. They have to come east for the early start. I think it's a win. All right, now the next game. This one I don't like. At Tampa Bay is a freaking house of horrors for the Eagles. We just can't seem to win often there at all. Um, I think Baker Mayfield is very underrated. Um, that said, I think the Eagles, when we played in Tampa last year, which I was there, we had massive injury problems. We had no Devontae Smith in that game, no AJ Brown in that game, and the offense really was just Saquon Barkley, and we just couldn't get anything going. The defense played horrible in the first half, and we just got too far behind. I'm going to come back to this game because this is one of the harder games. I'm just going to skip it for now. Denver home, Bo Nix. Give me a break, W. Giants Thursday night. I like the Giants to cover the spread in the first quarter, and then the Eagles to blow them out. And then at the Vikings. Okay, this basically what I think is going to happen is we're going to lose either at Tampa or at Minnesota. I know Minnesota has the rookie QB now, but they still have a lot of talent. And don't forget, they were 14-3 last year with Sam Darnold as quarterback. They had the same record as the Eagles, and two of their three losses were to the Lions, and the other one was to Tampa. So they really did have a great season that people really aren't talking about them at all for some reason. You know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm feeling. I don't like going into those domes. I think the Eagles avenged the loss to Tampa last year, and we beat them there, but we lose our first game of the year at Minnesota. And because I just don't think you run 6 wins in a row to start the season, it gets tough at that point to keep the consistency going. Even though we have the 10-day rest after the Giants game, and really this is like a 2-week rest because the Giants are not really an NFL team. So I still don't feel that great about that Vikings game, but I think they split those two, Minnesota and Tampa. All right, Giants at home. That's like another bye week to win. So we have a double bye there with the Giants and then the bye week. Okay, then we play at the Packers on Monday night. And if you look at the schedules, at Green Bay, then short week, Lions on Sunday night, which is the game of the year in Philadelphia. This is another one where I think they split these two. I think it, I think coming off the bye week, we can go to Green Bay and we can beat Green Bay. So I think logic tells me more that we win the game in Green Bay, and then Detroit, who's just a tough team, comes into Philadelphia and beats us on a short week coming off the game in Green Bay. It could be flipped either way. I think I'm just going to go win Green Bay, loss Detroit, and that's our one home, probable loss for the season. Okay, then we're at Dallas. Now, some people will say, "Oh, you might lose at Dallas. Now you're gonna lose two in a row if you lose to the Lions." No, we're just significantly better than Dallas. I'm not sold on their team at all. I Is Micah Parsons even going to sign? He's the best player. He may be on the Eagles for all I know by this point. He loves the Eagles so much. He always talks about the Eagles, the Penn State guy. We're going to go to Dallas and we're going to bury the Cowboys. All right, Bears Black Friday. I don't even know what we're talking about here. You can go shopping or do your shopping online. Another W. Okay, at the Chargers. Again, a good team, a playoff team, a perennial underachiever. They have a great quarterback, but just can't seem to play well in really big playoff games. They have talent though. Problem for them is this game is in LA, but it's really in Philadelphia. It's going to be 80% Eagles fans. Again, you got the red star here. I'm going to be in the building, so that's a win. Okay, Las Vegas at the Eagles. Win. All right, at the Skins. Here's the ending of the season. You've got at the Skins, then you've got at the Bills, and then you're home for the Skins again. So this is tough. This is tough. What I think probably happens here is I go back and forth here. I think we're going to split the Skins games. I don't know which order because the last game might not matter. So what I'm hoping for is you beat the Skins in DC, and then inevitably you're going to lose. We'll get to the Buffalo game. Let's just say we split the Skins games. I'm just going to put win on the road, then loss at home. Actually, you know what? I don't like losing at home. We're going to split. We lose there, and then we win at home. Okay. So then it becomes the toughest game on the schedule. And the biggest game on the schedule is the Lions at the Eagles because that's going to determine NFC tiebreakers and all that kind of stuff. The hardest game on the schedule is clearly at Buffalo on December 28th. This has ugly written all over it. It's probably a blizzard, winds like 40 miles an hour, wind chills 10, 15, 20 below zero. This no bueno. This is bad. This could get ugly. So this is I'm going to give this one a hard L. So, to recap, I've got us losing at the Vikings. I've got us losing at home to the Lions. I got us losing at the Skins. And I got us losing at the Bills. And that gets you to 13-4, which is one game worse than last year. And I think that's fair. I think the schedule I think is a little tougher than last year based on what I think teams will be this year. I think though getting off to this good start is huge because you want to pack these wins so you can stay ahead as far as the NFC and tiebreakers. It's worrisome to me if we lose that Lions game because I do feel like the Lions are probably the biggest competition. Although if you take a look at the Lions schedule, they have a tough schedule. So I think if we can get to 13-4, I think that will give us the one seed without worrying about tiebreakers. I don't think there will be another team that has four losses or less in the NFC. I just don't see it. In the NFC East, not a chance. In the NFC West, okay, the Rams. If you say that Stafford is healthy, they could be good. They have a great coach in McVay. Do you think the Niners are going to come back and be good? I don't think so. I think they're going to be average. I think their window is closed. To be honest with you, but I still think they could be a playoff team. But they're not going to be. They're not going to be contending for the one seed. No way. So then you turn to the NFC South. Okay, Tampa does scare me, and if we lose that game at Tampa, that would worry me a little bit. I'd have to take a closer look at Tampa's schedule to see if I see a few more losses there that can get them to 5 losses. But that's the only team in the NFC South that really worries me. And then okay, you turn to the NFC North. Okay, it's Packers, Lions, and Vikings. But you've got to figure they cannibalize each other a little bit in the NFC North. Um, last year, although Detroit goes 15-2, so that's where I'm at overall. I think the NFC North will still be the division that will be closest to the Eagles as far as getting the one seed. But again, the key here is get the one seed, get home field through Philadelphia, and we're going back to the Super Bowl again in Santa Clara. If we don't get the one seed, it just depends on would we have to go to Detroit like we would have had to go to Detroit last year, but for Washington helping us out? We'll see. I wouldn't want to go to Lambeau Field in January for the NFC Championship. That would not be good. And I wouldn't want to go to Minnesota either, even if Minnesota turns out to be way better than people think and JJ McCarthy is the real deal. We'll see. Now, if we had to go to like LA for the NFC Championship, well, I'm not worried about that. And if we had to go to Tampa, I'm not overly worried about the location. We just feel like we get snake bit there, but I'm not worried about the atmosphere or anything. It'll be like 30-40% Eagles fans anyway. So that's where I'm at, 13-4. I'm hoping for the one seed. If we get that, we're going back to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, and if not, we'll just see how the bracket formulates. I'll be in touch as the season goes forward. Until then, the Vegas Eagles out. Welcome to 2025. The reigning champs kick it off next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, NBC. The Vegas Eagles will be in the building. All right. Go Birds.